What's going on YouTube? Pubfaker today. Today we're going to be comparing the Samsung Galaxy S4 and the LG Nexus 4. Now these devices are both quite high-end in the market, so without further ado, let's get on with the specifications. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is rocking a full 1080p HD display with a pixel density of 441 pixels per inch. To put that into perspective, the LG Nexus 4 is rocking a 4.7 inch screen with a resolution of 768 by 1280 with a pixel density of 318 pixels per inch. The S4 is sporting a 1.9 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 600 processor, as opposed to the 1.5 GHz quad-core S4 Snapdragon processor. They both have 2 GB of RAM. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is packing a 2600 mAh battery, which should mean that there is slightly more juice than the predecessor, the Samsung Galaxy S3. The LG Nexus has 2100 mAh. In terms of the actual physical thickness, the Nexus 4 is seen to be slightly thicker at the top. However, the overall thickness of the Nexus 4 is slightly thinner than the Samsung Galaxy S4. The Samsung Galaxy S4 as well as the Nexus 4 are both running Android's latest version of Jelly Bean. The only difference is the Samsung Galaxy S4 has got Samsung's TouchWiz skin, which means that there are quite a few differences in terms of the customization that Samsung have put. Of course, with the Nexus 4 you've got Project Butter, which means that the Android stock experience is really smooth like butter. And the Samsung S4, of course, as I said, got a lot of Samsung applications and is running that whole TouchWiz thing. Of course, if you can root the device, especially right now the LTE quad-core is capable of being rooted, and you can then install other mods as well as, for example, the Cyanogen mod, as well as the ability to put pure Android. Now, a test that I normally get asked to do, something that I like to put as a tradition in most comparison videos, is a boot up test. Now, I did highlight in the Samsung S3 comparison that there isn't really much of a point to do the boot up test. It can show how fast the phone can boot up, but really it all comes down to how patient someone can be. And we saw yesterday with the S3 that it actually launched and booted up slightly faster by 1 or 2 seconds than the S4. In today's case, however, we saw that the Samsung Galaxy S4 launched again a few seconds before the LG Nexus. But again, this is something that really seems to be something that people have put into competition, but really doesn't bother me, to be honest. Now I'm gonna put the full benchmark on us as a separate video, as it does take about 3-4 minutes to complete the full benchmark, but this I'm using the Antutu Benchmark version 3.3, and it really tests the CPU, GPU, as well as some other tests that the benchmark performs, and it gives you a score. So in this case, in today's benchmark, we got a score of 23,842 for the Samsung Galaxy S4 and a score of 15,351 for the LG Nexus 4. Now that is about 8,000. The Nexus 4 probably performed just as good as the S3 did. So that's pretty much showing how much power the actual device has. So it really comes down to personal preference. But of course, the price does affect the choice of buying. The S4 is quite a hard thing on the pocket on cash, whereas the Nexus 4 is available unlocked directly from Google for a starting price of $349. And if that's from Top Tech, if you guys have any questions or anything, please don't forget to leave them down below. And if you're interested in more videos like this, don't forget to stay subscribed, and I'll catch you later.